Rich Kettner. Welcome to Starry Night Guitars. I'm going to do a video about the 12-bar blues. Actually, I'm going to do a series of videos. Today I'm going to talk about the basic structure, what a 12-bar blues is, and basic chord forms. And then the next video, I'm going to bring you farther down the road with chords used for that progression. And the third video is going to talk about chords you might use more in a jazz blues rather than a rock or blues setting. And so before we get to that, I just want to encourage you, if you enjoy this video today, to consider subscribing to the channel, or maybe hit the like button, or tell a friend about this video and my channel. I've been playing guitar just over 50 years, and I just want to share stuff that I've learned either by other guitar players I've met along my journey, or figured out by myself, or from great teachers. I just want to share that with other guitar players. So that's why I'm here. So, a 12-bar blues, maybe you've heard that term and didn't know what it meant. A bar in music is the same as a measure. Measures are kind of like sentences as you read, say, a paragraph. Right? A paragraph is several sentences. You break it down in a smaller group is a sentence. And sentence breaks down into words, and words are broken down into single syllables. Well, a measure is a small unit of a certain number of beats. In this case, 4 beats, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each time you say count 1, it's the next measure. A 12-bar blues, another name for it, could just be a 12-measure blues. So you can do the blues in any key, starting in any specific chord. We're going to start on a G chord for the example I'm going to show you. And another common name for 12-bar blues is a 1-4-5 progression. What that means is we're using Roman numerals. Roman numeral 1 means the very first chord we play. So if we're in the key of G, the 1 chord is G. The 4 chord, if I go up from G 4 steps, G, A, B, C, the C chord would be the 4 chord. So, same idea, if I go from G up 5 steps, G, A, B, C, D, D would be the 5 chord. So a 1-4-5 progression, if I go through quick, 1, 4, 1, 5, 4, 1, 5. That was once through all 12 bars. I was counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, and so on. If you listen to early rock and roll, some of Elvis, but almost all of Little Richard's music, almost all of Chuck Berry's music, is his 12-bar blues form. Very influential in early rock and roll. So again, those two artists, virtually all their music was 12-bar blues, and a lot of the early Beatle music, or the Beach Boys, or other early groups in the 60s, before psychedelic rock took off, a lot of it was based heavily on the 12-bar blues pattern. So, if I'm in the key of G, as I said, the easiest form we can do, instead of doing a whole bar chord with all 6 strings, I'm just going to play 2 or 3 notes. So I'm going to use my index finger on the 6th string, 3rd fret, and I will use my ring finger on the 5th string, 5th fret, and those 2 notes together. Hit them quick, and I want to hit only those 2 strings. I don't want the other strings to sound, so I'm going to mute them with these other fingers with my right hand. Instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, instead I'm going to strum twice as fast. So I'm counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or you can think of it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You might want to think that way in the beginning, but as you become more familiar with it, I would think 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so that's the 1 chord, 3rd and 5th fret. For the 4 chord, we're going to play the exact same shape, but move up the neck So now my index is on 8 and my middle finger is on 10. And again, just those two strings. And back to the 1 chord, 3rd and 5th fret. For my 5 chord, same exact shape, I'm on the 10th fret and 12th fret. 4 chord, 8 and 10. 1 chord, 3 and 5. So if I play the whole way through the progression once, kind of slow, I'm counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I will tell you when I move to the next chord. And I should tell you this. So the form, I play the 1 chord for 4 bars. Bar 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We move to the 4 chord, measure 5 and measure 6. Back to the 1 chord, measure 7, measure 8. The 5 chord, just 1 measure, measure 9. 4 chord, measure 10, 1 chord, measure 11. And then measure 12 is back on 5, and it makes us want to go back to 1, and the pattern starts all over again. So here we go, slowly through a 12-bar blues. 1, 2, ready, and 1. Measure 2, measure 3, 4. Now I'm moving to the 4 chord. 5, 6, 7, 8. Up to the 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's once through. Now, the only problem with that shape is it's not real practical if you're playing fast. So if we're going, that's a lot of moving around up the neck, right? So what you want to learn is while the G is here, instead of playing C way up here on 8 and 10, I could play it down here on the exact same frets I'm on for the G. The G is 6th string and 5th string, 3 and 5. If I just shift my hand over 1 set of strings, I'm now on the 3rd fret of 5 and the 5th fret of 4. That would be a C chord or the 4 chord. So it's much easier. Instead of going 1, 2, 4, I can go 1, 4, just shifting over. Now, the biggest trick with that is making sure with your right hand you're hitting the right strings. And again, you want to mute the strings that you don't want to ring. You don't want... That sounds kind of cool, but that's not a blues, right? I want just those 2 notes to sound. So what I'm doing, I'm kind of using this part of my hand to mute the strings, or it's called like a dead string. So if I strum them, notes are not ringing out. So I can do it here, or you can do it with this hand. These other fingers can just, they touch the strings. If I hit them, they're not going to play a note. They're just like that click sound. So again, the 1 chord, shift over, the 4 chord, 1 chord, 4 chord, 1, 4. And likewise, like I did the 4 chord here, I can do the 5 chord instead of way up here, I can do it down here. So the 1 was 5 and 6, 3 and 5, 3rd fret and 5th fret. The 4 chord or the C chord, next string over, 3rd fret and 5th fret. To play the D chord, I'll just slide the shape up toward the body of the guitar to 5 and 7. Still on the 5th string and 4th string. That's the D chord or the 5 chord. 4 chord, 1 chord. So earlier I did the blues going 1, 2, right, and up to here. It's a shortened version. This time I'll play through the 12-bar blues but just playing these shapes, and you'll see much less motion for my hand, a little easier to do. Here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here comes the 4 chord, 5, 6, back to 1. That's your 8, up to the 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you can see a whole lot less motion. So that's it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to play those same shapes, but do a lick that Chuck Berry did all the time. So instead of this sound that we just did, we're going to do this. Now it's kind of a dated sound now. You don't hear it a lot. Some rock bands, Rolling Stones might still do it some. It was very common in the 60s, some early 70s. But it's still a cool thing to learn. So the next lesson, I'm going to show you that. And the lesson after that, I'm going to show how a jazz player might do the same 12-bar blues. Instead of playing all these notes, they're going to strip that chord down to just this. Playing fewer notes and a different shape. I'll talk about that in the third video. So, again, if you like this, please like the video or maybe subscribe to the channel. Wish you all the best. Keep having fun playing your guitar. See you next time. God bless.